Hi, I'm Zola, and this is a reformer workout with a core focus. This reformer workout is about on the intermediate level. It's not quite advanced, it's not quite beginner, it's somewhere in the middle. So hopefully you've done at least a little bit of Pilates before you jump into this one. If not, I have a couple of beginner Pilates workouts for you. Let's get started with footwork. So I'm on a personal hour reformer. I have on 2 red springs, a blue spring, and a yellow spring for this reformer. That means I have on 2 heavy, a medium, and a light spring, 4 springs. So footwork, starting on the toes, lie on your back, make sure your headrest is in the position that you like it. I like mine up. Arms are long by your sides. I'm doing heels together and toes apart to start. And let's start moving, pressing out and pulling in. Working in both directions. Make sure the springs aren't doing the work of pulling you back in, which is very easy to do. Let's do 3 more here. Breathe into your back ribs wide through the collarbones. And once you're in, change to the arches. My legs and feet are together. I'm wrapping my toes over top of the foot bar and pressing my heels down like I'm trying to grab it with my feet. Let's do 5 more. My inner thighs are hugging together. My outer hips are pressing in toward the center. Let's come in and change to the heels, pressing out and pulling in. Press out with power, pull in with control. 5 more here. Pull your pinky toes back just as much as your big toes are pulling back. And make sure this work is a full body workout, not just the quads. Now come in, stay on the heels, and go wide on the foot bar. I have a slight external rotation. Let's press all the way out and all the way in. You have to keep in mind when the legs are this wide to try to equally press into both of your legs and get them straight at the same time. You notice we all favor one side or the other. We're all dominant on one side. Let's try to work equally while we're here. Now go out, come halfway in. Let's pulse the carriage. And in, and in. Breathe. 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press all the way out. Stand tall in those legs. Come all the way back in. Go back to the toes with heels together, toes apart. Stand tall in those legs. Let's do tendon stretch. Heels down and heels up. Heels down and heels up. Can you keep your heels pressing together as they lower down? Also, can you not make sure you're not dropping the heels, right? There's a little rebound there because I'm not holding anything. Can you actively press them down like you're moving through cement? 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the carriage in and scoot yourself forward so you have a little bit of space between the shoulders and the shoulder blocks. We do footwork abs, so stack your palms, curl your chest up, heels together, toes apart, stretch the knees, and bend. Inhale, stretch, exhale, bend. Make sure when the knees bend, they go no wider than shoulder width. Out, and 2 more times. 2 and 1. Bend your knees, rest your head, bring your legs and feet together, and just like you're doing footwork arches on the foot bar, wrap your toes forward and curl yourself up. Inhale out, exhale, bend. This time when the knees bend, the inner thighs are hugging, working those inner thighs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come in and rest your head. Switch the stack of your palms. And again, curl yourself up. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Flex the feet fully, this time leading with the heels. Inhale out. Exhale, bend. 8, 7, 6, 5. Always put the head down if you need. That is always an option. Last 2. Last 1. Come in. Rest your head. Take a breath at the bottom, and when you're ready, you curl yourself back up, stretch those legs out. You point and you flex. You can do this with the legs together in parallel or turned out, whatever floats your boat today, however you're feeling. 4 and 3. This is like your tendon stretch. 2 and 1. Bend your knees and rest your head. Look from side to stretch your neck out a little bit. And then place your feet on the platform below. Reach your arms up and roll yourself up for a spring change. We want to stay connected in our center as we change our springs. I'm doing one heavy and one medium, 2 springs, and then carefully bring yourself back down onto your mat. Grab your loops or your handles, whatever you have. I'm holding on to the short loops. Make sure you're centered on the carriage. Stretch your arms up to the sky, long and strong. Once the arms are above the shoulders, bring your legs to tabletop. Press the arms down, lift the arms up, and down, and up. 3. Good. The arms are long and strong. I'm reaching the back side of my arm down to the mat, not just the hands. Now, can you add a curl of the chest? I'm going to shimmy myself forward a little bit so I have space to curl up and roll down. Curl up and roll down. Now maybe as you lift your chest, you stretch your legs. Stretch out and hold. Bend your knees, come down. Good. Let's do 4 more of those. Press and bend. 3. Exhale to curl. 2. One more time. Good. Bend your knees, lift your arms, take a little rest. Maybe rock the knees from side to side for a quick moment, and then we get right back into it. Legs come to tabletop. We do arm circles, circling the arms down, open, up and in, down and around. One more like this. And then for that core, we press down, curl up, circle the arms out, up, bend and lower. Right? So the same arm circles we did before, just adding that lift of the chest and the stretch of the legs. One more this direction. Up and around. Keep your chest down. Reverse your circles 3 times with the chest down. And 2. And 1. Add the lift of the chest as the arms circle in toward the body. Bend your knees, lift your arms, rest your head. 2 more like that. Open, hug in and stretch. Bend and lift. 1 more time. Open, hug in and stretch, bend and lift. Good. Rest your arms, rest your legs. Twist your legs from side to side. You can even look from side to side if you need. Stretching the neck. Tricep press. Start the same way with the arms straight up to the ceiling. Press the arms down and hold. Bend and stretch. Bend and press. 3 more of these. 2 more. Keeping the elbows down. Now bend and hold, curl yourself up. Inhale, stretch the arms and legs. We do coordination. Open the legs, close the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Inhale, stretch, hold your breath. Open, close. Exhale, bend and bend. Inhale, open, close. Bend and bend. Last one. 10 beats of the legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, elbows, and rest. Good. Put your loops onto your pegs. Bring yourself up to seated. And let's change our springs. Just adding on some. I'm going to add another heavy spring. So I have 2 heavy and a light, 2 red and a blue. 2 heavy and a medium, my bad. And roll yourself down. Headrest comes down so we can do some bridging. Arms are long by your sides. Arches of your feet on the foot bar hip width apart. Curl the tailbone under and articulate it bridge. Roll your hips up and then roll the spine right back down. Again, curl the tailbone under and peel your hips off of the mat. Finding your bridge, chin off the chest. Keep the front of the throat nice and open, front of the neck nice and relaxed. Again, roll it up. Push equally into both of your feet. And roll it down. Sternum, rib cage, waist, and hips. One more time, roll your hips up and pause at the top for me. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. This time we do a hinge bridge. Hinge your hips down, tap your booty, and lift. Now, as you know, your seat, your glutes are part of your core, so we can't bypass some seat or glute workout, right? Activation of the back of the body. 2 more. 1 more. Lift the hips, hold. Little pulses up and up for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring everything down. Place your arms down. Shake your legs out really quickly. And then put those arches right back on the foot bar. I'm keeping my arms down, curling the hips up, and then pressing the carriage out. So the carriage is heavy. Pull it in. Press it out. It's more of a hamstring press than a curl. So the work is on the out and not on the in. Less on the in. We're still working. 2. Good. 1 more. Pull the carriage in and roll the hips down. Once your hips are down, bring your legs and feet together. You can place your heels on the foot bar or arches, whatever floats your boat. I'm still doing arches here. I'm rolling the hips up and I'm stretching my right leg up to the sky. I flex the foot to lower the leg. I point the toes to lift. As the right leg lowers, keep the right hip lifted. Don't let it dip down to the mat. And up, bend your knee, put that foot down, squeeze the inner thighs together, left leg to the sky, flex the foot to lower, point the toes to lift, flex to go down, point to come up. 1 more, down and up, bend the knee, put the foot down, squeeze the inner thighs, and roll your spine all the way back down. Beautiful. Roll yourself all the way up to seated. And let's grab the long box. So, long box on top of the reformer. For springs, I'm going for a 1 blue spring here, which is 1 medium spring. If you want it to be a little bit easier, make it lighter. If you want it to be harder, make it heavier, of course. Have a seat on top of your box, facing the back of the reformer. Now, I'm placing my short loops onto my legs like pants. And I'm scooching toward the front edge of that box and carefully rolling myself down on my back while I bring my knees to my chest. Now, I'm stacking my palms. Whenever you need a rest, you can go into an upper back extension here, which is really nice. Option number 2 is to abort mission and bring yourself all the way back up. So you have 2 resting options. So once you're down, stack your palms harder. Arms reaching forward is a little more supportive. You can start to stretch the legs out. Think double leg stretch. Push those heels into each other and pull the knees into the chest. You inhale, stretch. And exhale, pull. Now this looks familiar, right? We did this with the footwork abs after footwork. Just a little bit more work as you pull the thighs to the chest. 1 more like that. Out. And pull it in. This time, as you bring your knees to your chest, can you twist your rib cage to the right, keeping both hips down. Center as you stretch. Twist as you bend. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Good. Again. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Let's do 1 more each side. 1 more time. Bring yourself center, put your feet down, and go into that extension of the upper back. And then bring your knees back to the chest first. Stretch the legs up to the ceiling. Now I'm going to reach my arms forward so I can lift my chest a little bit more. Lower the legs down. Lift the legs up. Now what I'm looking for here is that my low back doesn't get light on the mat like it just did. So as my legs go down, I pull my pubic bone to my belly button and I pull those legs back up. Inhale down. Exhale up. This is going to look different for everybody. If you need to soften the knees, which I probably need to do, soften the knees, but keep those heels pressing together so you have that midline connection. 3 more. 3, 2, 1 more. Down and up. Carefully put your feet down and go into that upper back extension. Support your head with your hands. And with control, roll yourself all the way back up. And let's take these loops off of your legs. Hang them back on your pegs. Whew, that one's a doozy. And then change your long box to short box. Side sit-ups is next. I'm adding a spring just to stabilize the carriage. And I'm finding my strap. Mine is in front of the reformer. Many are inside of the reformer. And I'm turning to face you. Hand goes on the headrest. I'm stacking my hips. I like to have my bottom leg or foot free. Some people like to wrap, whatever feels more secure for you. Either way, try to internally rotate the top heel or the top leg so that the heel reaches up to the ceiling. Now let's do 3 side sit-ups with the hands behind the head. So we have 3 and lift. We have 2 and we have 1. Now you can either stay here or reach your arms by your ears. 3 times down and up and 2 and 1. Now come up, hands behind the head, twist your rib cage to the floor, twist your rib cage to the sky, working the obliques. Twist the rib cage down and up, down and up. One more time, down and up, and then twist your rib cage to the floor. Finally, take your stretch. Walk yourself all the way up. We do the same thing on the other side. So switch feet, hand on the headrest. Remember, we're on our hip, not the booty cheek, right? Stacking the hips one on top of the other. The chest is open, hands stacked behind the head to start. 3 times here, down and up. We're keeping the top hip and pelvis nice and stable. So I don't want to see any movement in that hip. Good. Hold it at the top. Stretch the arms by the ears. 3 times with long arms. 3. Come up. 2. Come up. 1 more. Come up. Hands behind the head. Twist the rib cage to the floor. Twist the rib cage to the sky. You twist down. You twist up. 1 more time. Down and up. Twist down and stretch. Good. Let's walk the hands up. And I am going to lower my foot bar down for some planks here. So I have the platform attached to my reformer, so my feet have a cushy place to be. And I'm changing my spring to just 1 blue spring again, which is like the 1 medium spring. If you want it a little harder, you go lighter. Facing the box, place the forearms on top of the box and place the toes on the platform. I have a very small space between the box and the platform. And so I'm going to push the carriage out a little bit to start. Now, elbows are down. I'm thinking of my shoulders gliding down the back and my sternum pulling up to the ceiling. I'm going to have my legs and feet together. I hover my legs and then push my legs out to a plank. Now, I tend to sink down. I'm just going to think about lift, like there's a string on the back of my head, a string between my shoulder blades, and I'm lifting all of that up to the ceiling. Now, stabilizing the pelvis and the shoulder girdle, my elbows drive forward and back. Forward and back. You can make a fist with your hand, hold the fist, the palms can be down, however you like. Out and in. Now, once the elbows are under the shoulders, can you bend your knees and push the carriage out? 4 more like that. Bend and press. For 3 and 2. 1 more. Once you're out, we do an isometric hold, tailbone to heels, pubic bone to belly button for 3, for 2, and 1. Come all the way in. You can sit your hips back to your heels to get the weight off of the shoulders for a second. And I just have 1 more plank variation for you. Whenever you're ready, elbows are the same, toes on the platform. Woo! When you're ready, you push that carriage out. And then this time, right knee comes to the chest. I pull the carriage in. I pike my hips just a little bit up to the ceiling. Carriage out, toes down, find your plank. Knee in, round and lift. It's almost like knee to nose here instead of just knee to the box. So the carriage is moving in and out. The hips are piking up and down a little bit, nothing crazy. I'm keeping a rounded spine as best as possible. One more each side. And last one, I have so much tension in my hands. Good, bend your knees and rest. Push back to a child's pose. Shake it out. That was a short-lived box series. Let's put our box back. And, woo! Can I continue? Yes, I can. We're going to scooter. So the foot bar comes up. I'm going to go to a heavier spring here. So a red spring, which is the heaviest spring on this personal hour reformer. And starting with my right foot up against the shoulder block closest to me, hands on the foot bar, thigh bones are even with each other. Send the hips back, find a hinge, and place your hand behind your back, the one that's away from the reformer. Start to press the carriage out and in, out and in. So that standing leg is nice and bent. So I'm not with a straight leg on that standing side. Out and in, out and in. Let's do 10 more. Push 10. If you don't think you need your hands, you can give that a try. But I like to have that closed chain, something to push against. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Now carriage comes in. Send your standing leg forward so that the toes are more even with the springs. Remember the plank we did earlier where we pulled the knee to the nose? Same idea here. So I'm pressing the carriage out. My back leg is straight. Now I'm finding a lunge, sending my hips down to the floor, but pushing into the back heel. Now keeping my back leg straight, the carriage starts to come in. I round my spine and pull my standing knee to my chest. Lower down, find your lunge. Chest is lifted here. Arms stay straight and strong like a plank. Pull the thigh bone into the chest. And then lower down. We have 2 more like that. Land with control. Find your lunge. It's a nice stretch. And pull it in. Down. And up. Now this time, keep your back leg straight. We swing that bottom leg up toward the sky as the carriage comes in. 4 more of these. I should say sweep and not swing because a sweep has more control than a swing. And we're controlling that back leg up, right? 2 more. Down. Hips up. Carriage in. 1 more time. Down. Pull it in. Good. And then lunge and stretch. You can finally put your back knee down. Find your Eve's lunge here. Take a breath or 2. And pull the carriage all the way in. I'm going to hop right on over to the other side. Starting over with that scooter. Ideally 20 here. If you can count, I cannot. Make sure that left knee is not on the mat so you don't have any weight on your knee that's closest to the carriage. Let's go. Press out and in. And in. Pull and pull. Whew. My foot bar arm is nice and straight and strong. I have 10 more here. Hinging the hips back. For 8 and 7, 6 and 5. Stay low on your standing leg. I already have a short reformer. 3. So that leg is already working. Now, hop that standing leg forward, toes even with the springs. Press the carriage out, send the hips down. Back leg stays straight from now on. I have 2 hands on the foot bar. Carriage comes in, I pull my knee to my nose. Find the floor, bend your knee. And pull it in. 3 more. Back leg stays straight and strong, especially as the leg comes in. 1 more like this. Now sweep the leg. Find your lunge. Sweep the leg up. Work in the seat. Your seat is part of your core. Sweep the leg, long spine. 3. And sweep. 2, and sweep. One more time, you got this. And take your stretch. Finally, let the back knee rest on the carriage and stretch, the best part. Bring the carriage all the way in with control. I'm changing my springs to 2 red, that's too heavy, and feet in straps. So lie down on your back with control. Have your head rest in its preferred position, in your preferred position, and put your long loops on your feet or feet straps in your feet, whatever you have. Arms down, press the legs out. So make sure the tailbone is heavy. Hug the seat, push into the straps. Let's open. Inner thighs squeeze to close. This is just your nice cool down here. Open and close. I still have on 2 heavy springs just so I can feel the work a little bit more. And it's not entirely a cool down. I'm still working hard. One more like this. Open. Keep the tailbone down as the legs open, right? Long through the spine. Bend your knees, frog. And stretch. And bend. Be mindful of those legs getting straight at the same time, working equally through both sides of your body. 2. And one more. Press out. Let's just lift the legs up. Don't let your butt come off of that mat. Press the legs down. So your legs only get to come as high as your tailbone stays down. I'm just moving my femur in the socket. I'm moving my thigh bone in the hip socket. I'm not moving my pelvis. Good. Leg circles up and around. Up and around. I keep mine no wider than the frame of the reformer. 2 more this direction. Collarbones are wide, arms are actively pressing down. This is still a full body workout, even though it's a nice cool down too. Reverse those circles down and around. And down and around. 3, 2, 1 more. Bring the legs together, bend the knees, soles of your feet together for a nice little butterfly stretch here. You can pull your straps with your hands. For a Peter Pan stretch, you can open the right leg to the right. Oof, those inner thighs are tight. And then bend that knee, switch sides. Man, I didn't realize I was that tight. Both legs can come up to the ceiling. Again, my tailbone is heavy. I'm reaching my heels to the sky and I'm gently pulling down on my ropes. And from here, you can slide the loops off of your feet. And my friends, you are all finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment any thoughts or feelings that you have. And I will see you next time.